My message to the losers: losers, look in the mirror. No? Well, maybe you should. Sorry. Well, that's my feeling.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who...
The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Actually had policy plans to help the working class. I mean...
Bill Maher's recent confrontation with the co-hosts of The View showcased his unapologetic stance on free speech, accountability, and the divisive political climate that dominates modern discourse. With his signature wit and sharp criticism, Maher delivered a scathing critique that left Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, and others visibly rattled. His appearance not only exposed glaring inconsistencies in the arguments posed by the panel, but also underscored the broader issue of ideological rigidity that permeates much of today's mainstream media. The tension began to mount when Maher addressed the controversy surrounding Whoopi Goldberg's recent comments and her subsequent temporary suspension from the show. Maher made it clear that while he strongly disagreed with Whoopi's remarks, he found her suspension
who actually had policy plans to help the working class. I mean...
Losers, look in the mirror. No? Well, maybe you should. Sorry.
Necessary and even insulting. He highlighted how the act of forcing someone as accomplished as Goldberg to reflect on their statements was both demeaning and counterproductive. For Maher, the essence of free speech is rooted in the ability to express unpopular or even misguided opinions without the fear of exile. This, he argued, is what keeps society honest and fosters productive debate. Maher's critique extended beyond Goldberg's suspension, calling out the broader culture at The View. He argued that the show's name, which implies a diversity of perspectives, has devolved into a platform where only one viewpoint is acceptable. According to Maher, this lack of ideological diversity stifles genuine debate and alienates viewers who don't align with the show's progressive narrative. By highlighting the inconsistency between the show's stated mission and its execution, Maher struck at the core of what makes The View so polarizing. One of the standout moments of the episode was Maher's critique of the left's obsession with controlling the narrative. He lambasted the panel for their tendency to dismiss or attack differing perspectives rather than engaging with them meaningfully. For Maher, this attitude reflects a broader issue within liberal politics, where ideological purity often trumps open dialogue. He pointed to examples of left-leaning media figures refusing to engage with individuals like Elon Musk, even when such interactions could lead to meaningful discussions. This unwillingness to confront uncomfortable ideas, Maher argued, is not only unproductive but also emblematic of a growing intolerance for dissent within progressive circles. The conversation took a more contentious turn when Maher addressed the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a topic that has long divided public opinion. He criticized the panel's reluctance to acknowledge the complexities of the issue. Instead,
I saw Kamala was on Saturday Night Live, as the losing candidate often is. Losers, look in the mirror. No? Well, maybe you should. Sorry.
Opting for oversimplified narratives that vilify one side while excusing the other. Maher highlighted how Hamas has used international aid for destructive purposes rather than rebuilding communities, a point that left the panel scrambling for a response. His remarks underscored the importance of addressing conflicts with nuance rather than resorting to partisan talking points. Maher's critique wasn't limited to geopolitical issues. He also addressed the growing divide between traditional liberal values and the modern woke agenda. He expressed frustration with how progressive ideals have been co-opted into rigid dogmas that leave little room for debate or differing opinions. This, he argued, is why many Americans feel alienated from the Democratic Party despite sharing some of its core values. Maher's call for a return to classical liberalism, rooted in free speech, individual rights, and open debate, resonated with many viewers who feel disillusioned by the current state of political discourse. Sunny Hostin attempted to challenge Maher's points, accusing him of oversimplifying complex issues and using his platform to promote divisive rhetoric. However, Maher quickly turned the tables, pointing out that The View itself often perpetuates division by prioritizing ideological alignment over meaningful discussion. He noted how dissenting voices on the show are frequently dismissed or silenced, creating an echo chamber that undermines the very concept of a view. Maher's takedown extended to the issue of free speech, which he described as a cornerstone of any functioning democracy. He argued that the current climate of censorship and cancel culture has created a chilling effect on public discourse, where individuals are afraid to voice unpopular opinions for fear of social or professional repercussions. Maher cited examples of prominent figures being ostracized for their views, emphasizing the need for a culture that values dialogue over suppression. The audience's reaction to Maher's remarks was telling. While some members of the crowd cheered in agreement, others seemed visibly uncomfortable.
As much as I totally disagree with her crazy statement, free speech. She should be there. She shouldn't get a timeout.
Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop it.
Reflecting the broader divide within the country. This polarization, Maher argued, is a symptom of a society that has lost its ability to engage in constructive disagreements. By presenting himself as a voice of reason amid the chaos, Maher positioned his critique as a call to action for those tired of the divisive rhetoric that dominates both media and politics. Maher's critique of The View extended beyond its hosts to the show's broader influence on public opinion. He argued that platforms like The View have a responsibility to foster meaningful discussions rather than perpetuating partisan divides. By prioritizing sensationalism over substance, Maher suggested the show contributes to a culture of polarization that ultimately harms society. His remarks served as a stark reminder of the power and responsibility of media to shape public discourse. The episode concluded with Maher reiterating his commitment to free speech and open dialogue, even when it means challenging popular opinions. For Maher, the ability to speak freely is not just a privilege, but a necessity for a healthy democracy. His appearance on The View served as a powerful reminder of the importance of embracing differing perspectives, even in the face of discomfort or disagreement. In the end, Maher's appearance on The View was more than just a critique of the show's hosts. It was a call to action for all Americans to reclaim the principles of free speech and open dialogue. By challenging the panel's narratives and exposing their inconsistencies, Maher demonstrated the power of reasoned debate in an increasingly polarized world. Whether you agree with his views or not, one thing is clear: Bill Maher's commitment to challenging the status quo has never been stronger.